body. God, I wonder can you save me? Secret society, trying to keep the arm.
Yeah, yeah. All right, we just gonna wait for a couple people to come in here, y'all.
Is this a good angle for me?
It's a good angle, all right, baby. Yeah,
Do I
buddy.
need to come over to the light?
Do I need to click on you? Let me see. Do I need to click on your page, or am I just sitting
Yeah,
here waiting?
click on my page.
Okay. Okay.
She's like, I see myself. No,
I don't even want to see myself.
you
I
can barely
almost
see
gave up. I
anything
almost
with your
went and got in the
eyes.
shower.
You can barely see anything with your vision right now.
Girl, yeah. Look, I'm like this.
No, you like black and Asian right now. Open your eyes.
My eyes. That's how my
Like,
eyes look
wait,
naturally, boo boo.
really? You don't
Yeah,
need
it's
no
called
more.
that African diaspora. I don't know where my roots come from. Part of them in China, part of them in Africa, part
And,
of them in India.
and part of it, Hennessy.
Okay.
Patron, I don't drink that here.
Patron,
well,
that's right.
well, you and Pat Ron are messed up right now. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, me and Patron, we doing real good.
Real good, okay?
I ain't mad at that. You know what I'm saying?
All right, we got a few viewers. Hey, whoever's watching, say what's up so we know who's here. What up, what up, what up?
We have to get some theme music.
Got some view. I know, right? Well, we are gonna have some theme music.
By Glock.
Yeah, that. You know what's funny about that? I did an open minds, right, and I played Black's music. I put it on YouTube. I got a YouTube strike for using Black's music. I was like, hello, I am Glock, okay?
That's comedy.
And they were like, well, no, the distribution company owned, like they didn't care. I was like, listen, it's me.
It's me.
So, yeah, so basically it went back to my digital distribution company. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look. Caleb said, oh my God, my mom.
Oh, how did we catch on here?
What up, nephew?
Hey, that's your mom?
Mommy loves you, and you all the way over there in Turkey. I said,
oh my God, he's in Turkey right now. Nephew, we love you so much.
Hey, C-Dub, your mom fake?
Because I'm on live, and I'm trying to get me some hoes and some sugar daddies.
Oh Lord. Hey, I'm with you, girl.
And it's her birthday, y'all. So
happy birthday.
It's the birthday celebration. You know what I'm saying?
Go. It's your birthday.
As a matter of fact, in honor, you know what I'm saying?
Don't play all at once.
It's your birthday. We're gonna party like it's your birthday. Gonna sip Patron like it's your birthday. We don't give a birthday. Gonna be in the club.
I'm 40.
Hey.
Hey.
Okay, that's enough.
Yeah, it's enough because she couldn't see none of that. So, you know what I'm saying?
Happy birthday. And we also want to say happy birthday to K West. You want to say happy birthday to somebody, don't you?
Catherine Morgan, Memphis, Tennessee, who lives now in Torrance, California. Happy 95th birthday, Grandma.
Whoa.
I love you. I miss you so very much. Happy 95th birthday. I just got off the phone with her before we went live. She's doing well, and I'm just so thankful. She raised me until I was 8. I owe you everything. You and Grandpa from Tyler, Texas. He passed away when I was 8. But anyway, happy birthday, Grandma.
Before he said 95, I was gonna ask was she single, but I think she out my age range.
Yeah, that might be a little bit out your age range. This. Hey, look.
I will crack jokes off that, but I'm gonna be nice.
Hey, Nita says, "Hey, my girls, Kate, Storm, and Sam, looking nice, my friend. What's up, Nita?
Girl.
Hey, what's up, Miss Scott?
Naima Rose says, "Hey, sis, love y'all. What's up, Naima?
What's up, Miss Rose? Or is that Rose?
Caleb says, laughing my ass off, black folks. I'm going to bed on y'all.
Oh,
right.
Hey. What time?
Black
That's
folks.
my
I
son.
wonder what
Wait,
time
hold on,
it is
hold
in
on.
Turkey right
Wait,
I don't
now.
need it
wait,
because I can see
wait.
everything.
What the time
We
difference?
got light skin, we got dark, we got darkness, and we got taupe.
All
Oh
right,
no, he didn't.
that's all right. I'm a fine taupe too, though. I'm a bad.
Hey,
Okay.
you know what? I'm gonna just be quiet.
Yeah. Yeah. What up, Jimmy Bones? Jimmy Bones said, "What's up?
What's
Jimmy
up?
B, what's up?
What up? What up?" So, you are watching Open Minds, another episode. This is a platform where we basically get together, we discuss the current events, the culture, issues in America and around the world, um, and we exchange opinions amongst ourselves. So tonight,
Wakanda
I'm
forever.
blessed to have my special guests. I have Samiyah the player,
Hey,
Hey, Pinterest.
Haneefa the teacher,
hey.
What's your birthday, woman?
and I got West.
Hey,
All right,
Wes.
okay, West.
Wes, what's up,
All right.
ladies? Three ladies to one West. That's the equivalent. I like that.
Oh wow, he says it's 4:43 a.m. over there in Turkey. So praying for you, praying that you stay safe and that you come home safe. And we love you, and we're so proud of you. We're so
Hey,
proud of
but go
you.
ahead. You running my flow. I don't want to make people to know I got grown kids. Go ahead.
Her son is in, her son is
Hey, you
in,
can't. You over there hollering at my grandmother.
her son is in the military. He's over there in Turkey. So big shout out to him.
Want
Um,
some winkle ass?
girl. All right. Anisha Wilson, what up? She says, "Hey fam, open minds, let's go."
What's
Hey.
up,
Hey,
A Dub?
Nisha.
What's up, A Dub?
All right. LaRon, Kate Sexy. Okay, what's up? What's up?
See,
LaRon.
I, see, I.
All right. So this episode, y'all, of Open Minds is brought to you by The Boulevard, providing products and services to federal and state inmates and their loved ones nationwide. To find out more about the company, go to our website, theboulevard.com. All right. So, first, breaking news. Literally just found out a couple of minutes before we got on here. We already knew that this hurricane was going to deliver big blows to the southeast coast. Now they talking about Governor Deal declared Georgia state of emergency. So now we are in a state of emergency also. Literally just found out just now. Now, normally, when these hurricanes, well, I know the last hurricane we had, of course, we're not right by the water, so we're not going to have that kind of thing. But the aftermath, the storm, the power going out, the trees being knocked down, those are the things that we have to worry about. We went through it last year with Irma. Everybody was laughing at me because I was
Yeah.
like, yo, I got a bad feeling about this. People was laughing like, girl, that shit is not even coming.
And
Sure,
you was out of power for a couple days too.
sure as shit. I didn't have power for
Right.
2 days.
I,
So
I got. I got a question. I'm from the West Coast. What's a hurricane?
Oh,
I
y'all
don't know,
get
but
them over there too.
We don't get
you
no
might.
damn hurricanes. We got earthquakes.
Yeah, I was about to say you might not know what a hurricane is, but you sure know what an earthquake is. You
Okay.
Right.
The
definitely
problem
know.
with the problem that with the hurricane for us is mostly going to be a lot of flooding through the rivers. You know, the Chattahoochees and whatever other rivers here. You know, I'm originally from up north, my damn self, but being that I was in North Carolina before and I was mostly inland, it's the rivers that the floods. We're gonna feel the the rain, the the inches in rain are gonna add up. It's gonna be bad for us. I still have to go grocery shopping.
Can't do
So,
dripping. Drip, drip.
so you think that and you talking about here in Georgia, Neef?
I'm talking about more inland as because we're not on. See, a lot of people get it fucked up because they think that because we're not on the coastal side here in
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta, that we're not going to feel the impact that's strong. But you got to think about the winds. the winds are pushing 125 miles per hour. And then you got to think about power outages. You got to think about the lack of groceries that's going to be at the store because everybody's
Right.
trying to cash in at the same
And
That's what
then
time.
happened.
everybody coming from Florida coming down here. Got all
Yeah.
that, got
Then
South
you got to
Carolina
house
people.
them at the speedway
Yeah,
too.
mm-hmm.
yeah. They've already told 1 million people to evacuate. The highways in Atlanta and Georgia are already flooded now. I experienced it today driving. I was so irritated today. It's already bad. Y'all know the traffic is bad here already.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So we Atlanta Motor Speedway has opened up its doors. They are allowing anybody who's trying to flee this hurricane to come to the Atlanta Motor Speedway. So there's a lot of people that are fleeing coming to Atlanta. And now Georgia is also in a state of emergency, literally breaking news, thanks to Zoo. Zoo is actually the one who just tagged me in that.
Oh, okay.
And
Thanks,
my,
sis.
my boy DJ Slade says, man, I got my ass out while I could from Charleston. I know that's right, Slade.
I
I'm
know
glad
that's right.
Well,
you got out of here.
in the Carolinas, a lot of
It's no joke. You know what I'm saying?
in the Carolinas,
Anisha says I've been watching it. It's so loud in the background, K West. So loud.
Hey,
So loud in your background. I've been watching it, praying that it didn't come your way. Please prepare. We experienced it firsthand. It's no joke. Harvey. Yeah, so in Texas, they had Harvey. She went through that last year. We went through it with Irma. These hurricanes
you're
are
right.
no joke. And like I said, a lot of times it's not the hurricane itself, it's the aftermath, the storm surges, the
The
storm
flooding.
being
The
knocked down,
thunderstorms. Yeah.
the power outages, and if you're not ready, if you don't have the food in stock, if you don't have backup batteries and mobile for your mobile devices and things like that, we may be in trouble. So this is breaking news. Everybody, just please be safe out
When
there.
are they saying that it's gonna start? Is it
Uh, it's
tonight
it's
or what?
it's supposed to
Friday.
it's supposed to hit North the Carolinas tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Right.
It's now as far as Georgia, I don't think it's going to be. We're going to get affected until I think they said Friday or somewhere
Right.
around here, like where we.
And just
well,
going back to Tropical Storm Irma last year, I remember I just moved here from Cali and to Atlanta, and I just remember the power being out. I was saying in East Point, the power went out, trees was being knocked out. I remember a tree had fell on someone's house.
Yep.
I remember, unfortunately, someone was on. Why was they on their roof? But someone was on their roof and unfortunately died from who knows what. But for everyone, please be safe, man. Please be safe.
well,
Yeah.
you got to think about like when you look at the regular storms that come through during the regular season, you have a lot of damage during then. So you can only imagine what happens
Right.
during the hurricane.
Yeah.
Especially with Georgia and all these trees. Everybody,
Yeah,
the
I
older
know.
trees falling
Mhm.
down.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
know
It was a
for a
lot of
fact
bad
Right.
in the
stuff.
Carolinas that a lot of the freeways that run east and west and north and south, they're only running one
Right.
way right now. A lot of them are only running one way, and that's out of the fucking Carolinas because they're trying to get you out of there ASAP. So you got a lot of people coming through. It's
Right.
gonna be something serious.
Yeah. And from what I understand, this is
Yeah.
the
Seriously.
last day. They've given today as the last day to evacuate the Carolinas. So if you can get out, get out.
Yep,
Get
they
to
said
a
they're
safe
closing the
place.
beaches.
And
Yeah.
our prayers are with you, and now we got to pray for ourselves too, because we in a state of emergency. So
Right. I
uh
ran into someone last night from South Carolina. I said, "Where you from?" South Carolina. I said, "Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
learned something today, y'all. Did y'all know that after a hurricane, like a detrimental hurricane, strikes the United States or whatever, that name is retired, so they can no longer use that name anymore? I did
yep,
not know
Oh,
that.
okay.
yep,
good," because I don't want to see Katrina no more.
yeah. Nope, they can't use it.
They can't use it no more. So I think they should name the next hurricane Haneefa and retire me. Or Scoop. I'll take Scoop too when it comes to S's. Don't look like that, K West. I'll
How
take
about
Scoop too.
no? It should be named Faded.
I am that. Leave me alone.
Okay, all right, guys. So the next story that I want to talk about is this Dallas police
Oh,
officer shooting situation.
Oh my
mm,
God.
mm, mm,
Um,
mm,
So, what
mm.
well,
about how they
first,
found out that the woman did she date him or something?
I don't know. I can't verify that that's true, but I
She
want to
definitely
point.
knew him.
I don't know about that either. But I want to play something for y'all real quick. I just want to play something just for those who don't have a full background of what's going on. So give me a second here.
Much more to the tragic story of a Dallas police officer who claimed she mistakenly entered the wrong apartment and then shot and killed a black man inside the apartment, the resident. Amber Geiger, who is white, claimed she thought Botham Jean had broken into her home last Thursday night when she entered his apartment and killed him. But now the attorney for the victims
I can't hear it.
I know we have a hard problem with getting justice in these streets. But damn, can we get justice in our living room? Right on.
Demands for answers in Dallas are growing louder as contradicting stories emerge over the death of 26-year-old Botham Jean. A witness who captured this video says it shows off-duty policewoman Amber Geiger distraught and pacing on the balcony of her Dallas apartment complex Thursday night, still in uniform after finishing her shift. Geiger had opened fire around 10 p.m., killing John after saying she mistook his fourth-floor apartment for her own third-floor residence. According to the affidavit, the room was nearly completely dark. Believing she had encountered a burglar across the room in her apartment, Geiger drew her firearm and gave verbal commands that were ignored.
We hope to bring understanding and clarity to the family.
But John's family attorney says witnesses add more to the story.
They both heard a knock or a pounding on the door. One who was closer to the scene in her bedroom reading a book, she heard pounding followed by a female's voice saying, "Open up, let me in." She said that was shortly followed by the sound of gunshots and the sound of a man's voice saying what she believed to be, "Oh my God, why did you do that?"
Geiger was arrested Sunday evening and was charged with manslaughter. She posted bail and was released just hours later. Now prosecutors say more serious charges won't be ruled out.
The grand jury will be that entity that will make the final decision in terms of the charges.
Geiger has been placed on administrative leave as her case is investigated. But protesters aren't waiting. Crowds took to the streets outside the Dallas Police Department Monday.
They don't come to us and ask us about what happened.
And continued marching into the night. John's red doormat is adorned with flowers and his mother is still begging for truth.
The number one answer that I want is what happened. I have asked too many questions and I've been told that there are no answers yet.
We've reached out to Geiger's attorney, but they have not reached back out to us. Something else to keep in mind here, Jake. Last night during the protest, there were two groups that were marching. And at some point, it seems that someone started firing some pepper ball spray toward them. They're trying to figure out exactly right now who did that. In fact, the police chief says they're going to investigate it.
Sad.
So
That's sad.
How do you mistake your apartment for someone else's apartment? Not on the same, you're on totally different floors, first of all. And you don't notice when you walk in that this ain't your damn apartment, yet y'all had the same damn furniture.
Right. Now her story is now the only thing that I can say that sounds valid is that her apartment was 1478 and his apartment was 1378. Right? So if you go one floor up, you would be in the exact same apartment, right?
But you had to go up a whole nother flight.
Right. So what there's What they're saying is her story is that she parked on the 4th floor. I guess normally she would park on the 3rd floor. She parked on the 4th floor. She got out. She goes to the apartment. Now, in the affidavit, they say that she walks up to the door. Now, remember, he had that red rug, that bright red rug.
Exactly, and she didn't.
Okay, she walked up to the door, but her story is from inside sources that I saw at another news station. She's saying she had bags in her hand when she was walking up, so she didn't notice the carpet. Okay, this is
Okay.
I'm just telling you what the story is. What her story is. She says the door was, because they're like, well, how did you? Like, she says the door was ajar.
Which we've been told those doors close automatically.
Right. The
And
door
they have keys.
Yeah, the door was ajar. She put her key in, which this doesn't sound right. The door was ajar. Right. She put her key in, and
it opened it.
And it opened. And she was dark. She saw a silhouette across the room. She told the motherfucker, whatever she said, she put some verbal commands to him. She says she runs over to him and starts administering CPR and calling 911. Then she says it's not until she was on the phone with 911 and she turned on the light that she realized she wasn't in her apartment when they asked her what the address was.
Okay.
All right, hold on. All right, ladies go
me.
first. Ladies go first because
this is my problem.
Ooh.
I know how my apartment smells. Not saying that it stinks, but I know
Thank
my
God.
potpourri. I know my fried chicken smell when I done fried chicken the night before. I know how my apartment smells. So you're gonna tell me you walked all the way in this apartment in the middle of the night. If you weren't drunk, you weren't intoxicated, and you didn't see no signs that this wasn't your shit. I don't believe it. I don't buy it.
I don't believe it is. Okay, I seen something. I'm not for sure exactly where I seen this at, but it was pictures of supposedly that she knew this guy.
Yeah.
I've seen that on other reporting as well.
Yeah.
I saw that too. I can't confirm if that's true or not, but yeah, that I saw
there
that.
was pictures of her and him together, like with another woman or whatever.
Yeah, I saw that.
But
and I was trying to figure out if that was her. I was comparing pictures. It looks like the girl. Like
right.
It looks like, I'm not sure.
I believe she did the shit on purpose.
Okay.
There's no way in the world.
So here's my thing.
But what about the let me in part? Why are you telling somebody to let you in?
Okay, yes. Oh, yeah. So witnesses, there's some witnesses, 2 different sets of witnesses who are saying that they heard her say, they heard knocking at the door, loud knocking, and they heard her say, let me in, let me in.
So you knocked at the door.
Yeah, there's witnesses saying that she knocked at the door. 2 witnesses saying she was knocking at the door saying, let me in.
Let me in. Okay.
Boo Hardy says, first off, if you thought it was a burglar, why would you do CPR?
Exactly.
Why would you administer CPR on a burglar? That's a good point.
Why are you running over there?
Because if you in my shit and I shot you, I ain't doing no CPR.
Hell nah.
I'm calling the police and letting them know it's a burglar in my shit and I just shot this motherfucker.
Exactly.
Right?
So, okay.
And you're a cop. You don't say, get on. What the fuck? You just say you're nothing? You just boom.
Thank you.
Shoot.
That's the point.
The
part I'm trying to.
It's the reaction. It's the reaction that she took that doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. Now, of course, there's conflicting accounts of what happened here, but I want to talk about the privilege in this situation. All right. Now this police officer, she was not arrested until 3 days after this happened.
Hell no.
Okay.
Nope.
The Texas Rangers arranged her arrest. All right. And I can tell you, if any one of us on this panel shot somebody, even on accident tonight, they're coming to get us tonight. Okay. They're not going to wait 3 days. They're not going to make an arrangement and negotiation. They coming to get us tonight. You heard me?
Period.
So I do understand she's an officer. So, they gonna, do whatever with their own. But she was definitely given some favor here in the fact that it took 3 days for her to even get arrested for this. And then, of course, she's arrested on manslaughter. Now, it has been handed over to the grand jury. The grand jury is saying that they could go above the manslaughter. They could go with murder charges. You know, it just depends. Now she's out on a $300,000 bond, 10%. She got out on 3,000. Okay.
Glad that was in California.
Now, right. Now his family is saying that he was very meticulous. He was a person that wouldn't leave the door open. He put keys in a certain place, that he's very OCD. Okay.
Right.
So the fact like, oh, he just mistakenly left the door open, and because that, you know, I even heard a news report that he was in there like like basically in his like boxer shorts and in a like a wife beater, like he was in the dark, like with the TV on. They're saying that the only light on was the TV.
Okay.
Right.
How don't you recognize that this is not your home?
Right. So you know the TV sitting in the same spot. Is the TV on the wall in the same spot? All of that. Like there's just too much that just don't sound right. Like,
Well,
so
what's up, Ari says she's a crazy woman on some Lifetime movie shit. Yeah,
I feel you.
Like there's more to this story. You know, I don't know, you know, what's going on. D-Sim says white privilege. Well, there's certainly white privilege or police privilege going on here for sure. Because
she fucking you know, a crazed in love woman who, you know, he rejected her. It's not like, I don't know. It just seemed
Now
really
that's
weird. That's how I feel like.
Make sure to say that because people saying they dated and whatnot. First off, she wasn't that cute, so let's go ahead and end that right now.
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying. I'm not saying the dude handsome or something. He got big shoulders and whatnot. But what I'm saying is the dude, as his neighbors said, they wasn't. His family said he wasn't expecting no company. He was leisure attire, watching TV, and more importantly, the door was closed. The keys, or those new nice magnetic
I heard
keys.
that too. I heard that
so
they said
it wasn't
it could have opened the door. All that shit. That shit still don't.
I don't believe
right.
that. I don't believe that.
It's like going into a hotel room.
So my
girl,
girl,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. My girl Malia, she says, how could you not know your furniture, your apartment number, etc.? Allegedly, they dated. It was revenge for him cutting off the D. They are cheering for her like every other cop killing.
Exactly. And that's the sad part about this, because we got another one. And that's what I was saying earlier in terms of now we got another one to add to the list. This makes no damn sense. And they wonder why Kaepernick is saying what he's saying. This is exactly what we're talking about.
Let me play devil's advocate for a minute, because
here we go. Come on, please.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a minute, only because you know, I'm in school. I'm a journalist major, and I'm trying to learn how to think objectively. Okay.
Okay, I get that.
The point is to report the facts. The facts are, from what we hear, from what's being reported, is her story is that she thought that this was her apartment. She walked in.
Mm-hmm.
She thought he was a robber. Pow, pow,
pow.
Pow,
pow. Okay.
Now, a logical mind will look at this and say, this is some bullshit. Because how can you not know your apartment? And you're just getting off work, unless you drink on the job, there's no way in the world you could mistake your apartment.
And once you get to the door and you're not getting in right.
And I want you guys.
Let's just say she did. Let's just say she was that just damn dumb. Let's say she was faded more than I am right now.
She must have been fucked up.
She walked into this apartment. She sees this black man in there, and she says, she doesn't give no warning shot. She doesn't ask
none.
You don't say get down on the ground. Nothing. None of that.
Nothing.
She says. Who's this? She says that she gave 2 verbal commands and he ignored them and she shot.
Was it open up?
What?
Open up the door.
Don't shoot. What
was that command? Shoot. Everybody wants to say it was open the door.
She's claiming that she shot him across, like he was across the room, like he was by the couch and she was at the door.
But
like
that's the thing.
She was probably saying, "What the fuck you doing in my house?"
I don't know Texas law, but I know that in some states, if someone intrudes into your apartment, if you don't have warning, I got a gun, or warning, you have that right, then that burglar can actually sue you for shooting them. Mm-hmm. I also know that in some states, if you don't let them know, the burglar know, if you don't give them warnings, I'm going to shoot you if you don't get out my house, or if you don't feel like you're in. If he's way across the room
and he's not threatening you,
no way that he was a threat to you. So the question that I have is, what does she know of this man? Were they in fact
That's
dating? Was she
that's
in
the
fact?
question.
I don't
That's
know.
the question.
That's the question, and that's what
Um,
bothers me the most because who knows, was she jealous of him or something? Did she really want him? Maybe she was a real
we
life
don't
fit or
know.
attraction. Like, who
It has not been
knows?
Now you
confirmed.
know
It
they
has not
said
been
once she went
confirmed
back,
if she knows him or not.
so she must
They
have
could
been
have been
all sorts
creeping.
of fucked up.
They could have been creeping.
Could
Maybe
have
maybe
been.
he had on the low low. Maybe he didn't want to, you a cop. I don't really want to fuck with you. They was creeping, come upstairs type shit. You know what I'm saying? Apartment building
She
creep.
wasn't that cute. Come on, man.
I
I
don't
don't want.
care.
I don't want.
Apartment pussy is pussy. A nigga might want to just, come
Okay,
down,
well,
You know
just.
that
we
song,
don't
it ain't
know.
got no
We don't
face.
know.
It
We
ain't
do
got
know
no
that we
face.
do know that there's a picture where there is someone that looks like her that's in the picture. I can't confirm if it's her or not. Ari Carroll says, I don't believe that either. Did they test her for drugs or alcohol? She don't even have that as an excuse. Yes, Ari, they did test her, and they're saying that the test results are pending. So we don't have the results yet of her drug and alcohol tests. Now, D. Sim says he heard someone messing with the lock and opened the door.
I can see that kind of happening in terms of, he's probably on the living room. Someone messed with the door. Like, man, open
That's
my door. Now,
possible.
granted, he could have looked at the peephole. If there was a peephole on the door, it's supposed to be a nice complex with a new key, so it had to be a peephole there. And then, like, all right, I'm gonna open my door. Like, all right, that's the neighbor. Let me check and see what's wrong with her. And
All
next
right,
thing you know, bam,
but
bam.
they said he wasn't by the door. He was across the room.
The
That's what
bottom
we saying.
the bottom line is a logical person cannot make sense of what the fuck she was thinking.
Thank you. Bottom
It
line.
doesn't even make sense, even as an officer. Like, what officer just
Right.
responds like that? You know what I
Right.
mean? And then I'm going to tell you about the timeline, and I want to pull this up because this struck out to me when I saw this. What her timeline is?
Mm-hmm.
There's just a couple steps in here that just don't sound right to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to pull it. I'm going to pull it up real quick. Hold on.
It makes no sense, man. This makes no damn sense. Of all of these police shootings, this one right here
Well,
makes
what
no
that
sense.
really doesn't make any sense is the privilege, the waiting of 3 days for her to be arrested. That's what really doesn't make any sense.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
This is
when the police got there and they realized that you fucked up, this wasn't your apartment, they should have took her to jail right then and there. But
Right. All right, now. I'm going to show this real quick, just because I thought this timeline was interesting. All right, let's just go over it quickly. Jean lived. All right, I just want to make sure it was on the screen. Jean lived in apartment 1478. Geiger lives in 1378. All right, now they're saying that both apartments are identical, similar in terms of floor plan, exterior, etc., the structure and description, except for that red rug. You saw that bright red rug. Jean was home alone or Jean, I should say, I think that's how it's pronounced, when Geiger, still in uniform after her shift, entered the apartment. Geiger parked her vehicle on the 4th floor, entered the building, and walked toward what she thought was her apartment. Okay, now here's when it gets a little funny to me. All right. She used her door key, which has an electronic chip, to try to enter the apartment. She used her door key, which has an electronic chip, to try to enter the apartment. The door was slightly ajar when she approached it. Okay, wait a minute. She used her door key to try to enter the apartment. The door was slightly ajar when she approached it. So when you approached it, if it was slightly ajar, why would you still try to use your door key? I don't understand. All right, so the door opened under the force of the key insertion. The interior of the apartment was nearly completely dark. Geiger could make out a large silhouette across the room. She drew her weapon, believing there was an intruder in her apartment. Her verbal commands to Jean were ignored. Geiger fired 2 shots at Jean, striking him once in the torso. Geiger then entered the apartment, called 911, and started administering first aid to Jean. She then entered the apartment. She shot him. She came in. She called 911. She started administering first aid. She turned on the lights while on the phone with 911. And when they asked her for her address, that's when she realized she was in the wrong apartment. What? She then requested an ambulance and police to come. Jean was transported to Baylor Hospital where he died. Geiger remained at the scene and told officers and the 911 operator that she thought she was in her apartment when she shot him. There's just pieces of this that just don't add up. It just doesn't add up to me.
I just asked everyone inside the swag show just a few minutes ago, like, had they heard about it, their thoughts on it, and it's all men inside there, and they all said he was fucking her. And I said, y'all really think that? And he said, no. They all agreed, like, no, he was fucking. And sorry, Mom, if you're watching this, but anyway, he was fucking. And on the flip side, he didn't want it no more, and she got mad. I wanted that vitamin D. You ain't gonna give me that vitamin D, you know?
Or you, and then the witness is saying, "Open up, let me in."
That part.
Let me in. Let me in.
Let me in. Because you've been calling this nigga, or you've been calling up and trying to get. Let me in.
Right. So that makes me think a little bit more like, damn, I don't really want to think like that, but it makes me really think.
And
like
then I'm gonna tell you what this 3 days to me sounds like.
Right. Thank you.
The 3 days to me sounds like they took 3 days to get their shit together.
Okay. That part. That's the part I want to say.
Because what they kept saying is, after she did get arrested, they still kept saying we don't have the details. I'm like, hold on.
What the
as
fuck?
soon as a nigga gets arrested, y'all be having him in the room questioning him like, what do you mean? And
what happened?
Days and days and days, and they arranged this, negotiated this arrest. It's like, well, let's get this story Trump tight.
It's ridiculous.
And then her family says that the affidavit is one-sided. The family,
right.
Like the affidavit is just supposed to state the facts.
Right.
They said the affidavit is basically in favor of her. It's basically telling her story, and not the whole facts of what has actually happened. It's telling what she's saying happened.
It's ridiculous.
Right.
Well, who's to tell his side
It's
of the story?
ridiculous.
Right.
He can't tell the story. You know what I'm saying?
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
So it is. It's crazy, and you know.
So is there any type of cameras or anything on the floor?
Well, they caught footage of her pacing back and forth.
Right?
Yeah.
After it happened, but ain't no pictures of her with the gun at the door shooting them.
Right. What happened? Like, what happened to that footage?
That's what I want to know.
Where the footage of her coming up with the groceries?
If they got
that's
footage,
what I'm saying. If she comes from the parking lot to the
where
car,
the groceries
at?
If she's got the groceries and she's got all this shit, okay, then let's talk about the groceries. You walking up, you got groceries.
How do you pull your?
How was you trying to put the key in, and then what you dropped
exactly?
The then you didn't say none of the groceries in your affidavit. You didn't say I put the grocery down.
None of that.
I said
I had bags.
I had bags. I put them down. You know what I'm saying? You didn't say none of that.
I love my street lawyers.
Fishy about the story. Something fishy about the story for sure.
I love my hood lawyers. Y'all
come on, man. Come here, man.
I want all three of y'all to represent me.
Okay, I will gladly represent you. You know, I want to be a lawyer. I always want to be a lawyer. So I'm ready.
Hey, I should have been an investigator.
This Manny, y'all. He said, "What's up, y'all? Swag shout, finest bar right here."
Hey, what up?
Hello,
ladies. What are we talking about?
We're talking about what happened in Dallas with the shooting.
Travesty. Absolute travesty. I'm upset about it.
How so?
It's ridiculous. Tell us how you feel about that.
I think that they were involved with each other physically.
A lot of people are saying that.
And she told that nigga let me in, and he was hesitant, so she went up in there and shot his ass, basically.
Period.
Or
she
he
got
was
it all
fucking somebody
figured
else.
out. She got it all figured out.
What'd she say?
She said that she was upset because he told her that she couldn't come in.
Right.
And she got upset and went up there and started
but
barking.
you know
You're
how our emotions can get when the dude.
Oh, nigga, you ain't gonna answer the phone. You ain't answer the phone. You ain't answer. Open. Let me in. Let me in.
So
let me in.
So you're not gonna answer the door?
We all
for
up
real?
in there. Let me in, nigga.
I know you in there. I'm gonna just sit right here and knock on the door. I know you in there.
Whoever else in that mofo, who else
Right.
in that mofo with
Right.
Yeah, she's white and she's a cop and she got that type of privilege.
Gone, girl.
That's why she was pacing.
Nobody else up in
That's why she was pacing. She was fiending.
Well, she was pacing because they was getting that story together, and she was.
Oh my god! I shot him.
Oh my god!
He made that phone call, and they was working it out. All right, look, Listen,
Oh my
just
God.
stay right there. All right, don't move. We're gonna work
I
on
just
this.
kind of find it odd that you got all this footage of her pacing, but you don't got the footage of her coming up to the
There's
door
no footage
with
of her with the
her
gun.
None.
knocking in the
That's
door,
what
There's
I'm
no
trying to fiddle
footage
saying.
with
of
the
her
key.
at the door with the
None of that.
gun yelling.
No footage from her
None of
getting out
that.
the car to the
Wait, didn't that
inside the
footage come
What
from a
happened
complex.
to the
neighbor?
tape? Did it just fucking just disappear? I mean, is this footage
Enemy of
from?
the state, yo.
The
On the
footage
reverse
didn't it come
side.
from a neighbor? I thought that footage came from a neighbor.
That
I don't
footage
know.
Might.
came from a neighbor. Yes, that footage came from a neighbor. So
Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Where's the apartment complex videotape? That's what I want to know.
I'm
Shit,
sure
I
the
live in a
cameras weren't
family
working.
ass
I'm sure the cameras
neighborhood.
weren't working that day.
That's a new, yeah, supposedly, right?
Shit, my apartment complex don't got no cameras in my hallway. If somebody came and murked me or I murked them,
All right, well
the
don't well
fuck?
don't well don't tell nobody. Dang.
Don't tell them about with your drunk ass.
I wish a motherfucker would come through
I
these
Hey,
wish I
come through
wish
this
you would get
bitch.
sober real quick. No, I'm
Now
I
they
messing
know.
look
with you.
like it'd be easy to kill me. Like, girl,
I wish a
Nah.
motherfucker would. I
Be
got
like, girl, I
money.
got the cameras at my door though. Okay.
okay. Okay, no, but all right, so let's see. Let's see what people are saying now. Trisha Jackson says, "Y'all know if it was a black female officer, she would be behind bars,
Behind
pending
bars.
an investigation."
Come on,
You
Yes,
hey,
hear me?
all right.
TJ, you speaking
Trisha
facts,
Wouldn't
Jackson.
be no
TJ.
bond. She would be out, no bond.
Yes,
Not
Exactly.
no administrative leave.
you are right,
Exactly.
sweetheart. And this lady is on paid administrative leave at that. Okay, she's not missing no money. She's on paid administrative leave right now. Okay. And a lot of people, Ari Carroll says it
Crime
was
of
a crime of
passion.
passion. A lot of people are
Yep.
saying, a
Ooh.
lot of people are
Yeah.
saying that.
I told y'all once y'all go black, you
All right,
never
let me
go
see.
back. You
She
know
never
the
go.
saying. Stop acting like that.
Nah,
Okay.
that's
So,
man.
Mm.
right. Okay. So
Hey, but we definitely want to send our condolences to his family. You know, they were from St. Lucia, I believe,
yes,
and he
Yep.
was
He
a
was.
graduate. I forgot what school he was a graduate from, but the guy was just from what
he
I
was
read from his background, he was involved in so much. He
he was
was
a Bible instructor.
a
He was
Bible instructor.
yeah. I mean, he was a stand up guy in the community, and
Right, and he had a donation type drive to send goods back to St. Lucia from the hurricane and everything else. So that's just sad. Another brother gone from I mean, if we want to say a passion crime, who knows?
A crime of passion, baby, not a passionate crime.
Well, it's
Or
true. He
should we just
dead.
call a
Cop killer.
another cop killer, cop shooting
It's sad.
again?
Yeah,
Damn,
it's
I'm
sad.
glistening.
yeah,
Y'all ain't tell me I was glistening on camera.
No,
Oh,
you
you in the dark
faded.
now?
you
You
glow, you
you
glowing,
glowing because
baby.
the light.
I'm glowing because of the light.
Glowing,
You
baby.
over there? You over there sweating Crisco
Nah,
or Pat Ron?
it's the fact that we
Yeah,
yeah, I heard your ass, but it's just the fact that we as a community we go through so much, and they wonder why we don't trust the police. You know what I'm saying? It's the lack of
right.
trust. And it started before the Reagan era with the war on drugs. Now when it's outside of the black community, it's a epidemic where we
It's
need to
actually
go
yeah,
send these people into rehab. And
right.
it's just so much, and they're trying to understand why the black community is feeling like they feel, and how can they build trust. Well, stop doing shit like this.
Exactly.
If the police and the investigator and the detective walked into that apartment and realized that she was in the wrong apartment, she was guilty of a crime. There's no such thing as an accident. You shot an innocent man
In
because
his
you fucked
home.
up and you
In
In
his
thought
his
the
home.
home,
apartment
in
was
his
In
insane.
place,
his
y'all.
home.
In his home because
Yes.
you fucked up and you thought the apartment was something else.
Right. And his
So
family is saying that he got that red carpet specifically so his apartment would stand out. He
It will
got that
stand
bright
out.
red rug, and so that's really
had to have
unfortunate.
because that shit's so played out.
Um,
That shit's so
Trisha
1960s.
Jackson says, do they know how she got into the apartment with the security lock? Her story, we had mentioned it earlier, Trisha. Her story is that the door was ajar
And
and that
those,
she put her key in and that it opened, but it was because it was already ajar.
but the thing is, those are new doors and it closes automatically. So that's where I'm like, I smell BS on that too.
Yeah.
And the very sad thing is, I'm gonna go not 50 cent, but 51 cent. Where's the tape? Now, where's the strap? Where's the tape? I need to see the tape. What
Right.
happened to the inside lobby tape? We see her with groceries or not?
Or
Yeah.
is there cameras in their parking lot
That you took the words out of my mouth.
when
Did
she
she
got out
really
the
park
car?
on fourth floor? Or did she park on third floor?
No,
Where's the tape?
I got one even better for you all.
Come on.
When the witness shot the video, where was the groceries?
That's
Did
what
she
I'm
bring the
saying.
Was they on the
groceries?
floor? Was
Did
they
That's
she
in
what I'm
his
bring the
saying.
Right.
room?
groceries in the
Was
Right.
apartment to do
was it
CPR after
inside,
she killed
And
outside?
her?
then have we really verified that she lives in apartment 1378?
Mm.
Or is that some
Okay.
bullshit? Like,
Okay.
what is that? Is that apartment really empty? And they took 3 days to work this shit out,
I don't know, man. It sounds something fishy. Something's
right?
hella fishy. Hella
Dope boy
Right.
fishy.
says Glock. What up, dope boy?
Hey,
Okay.
Ah,
cousin.
that's my nigga right there.
Dope
All right.
boy.
So
I love you, cousin.
all right. So,
He like who? Nigga, this Haneefa.
Wakanda forever.
All right, what we got next?
now briefly here. Hold on. I want to take a moment here. We have yet another music industry death. All right. Mac Miller was it was announced that he was found dead on Friday.
Yep.
They are not saying the cause of death has not been determined yet. All right. They're testing. They have lab tests, and the coroner said it could take weeks to months. All right. The investigators are assuming that he had an overdose and that he died of cardiac arrest. But basically, there still isn't a confirmation as to what his actual cause of death is. It's assumed he overdosed.
Overdose, right.
Let's just have a moment, just a moment for Mac Miller, y'all. Now, very interesting. Interesting to me is they did not find. The police are saying that they did not find any really traces of drugs in his house. They're saying that they believe his house was cleaned up prior to them arriving. One of his friends called 911 and said that they believe he went into cardiac arrest. When emergency personnel got there, no one would admit that they made the call. They asked who made this call, who made the call to 911 and said that you believe he went into cardiac arrest and he's dead. No one would admit it. They found a very small trace of white powder. They did not find any pills, bottles, drugs, nothing up in his house.
No lean, none of that.
Who cleaned his house up before they got there? And if he did it, did he clean his house up before he collapsed and OD'd? You know, I just want to say, it's really interesting to me the amount of celebrities that die from overdose.
Right.
Michael Jackson, Prince, Anna Nicole Smith, Marilyn Monroe, Oh Dirty Bastard, Heath Ledger,
Amy Winehouse,
or come close to it like Lamar Odom.
Did I say Prince?
Who? K West.
Or who come close to it like Lamar Odom a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
But my thing is with the whole celebrities, especially knowing if I saw a lot of posts in reference to his death, overdose and everything else. Allegedly, it's been overdose. But if you know, granted, we're all adults in this industry and all of that, and you know what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to be doing. But if you know someone has a drug problem, why are you not reaching out to say, hey, tone it down a little bit. You know what you're doing. Just reach out for help and give advice. Granted, he can say yes or no and all of that. But still, if you're really a friend, why not be that friend and take that first step in acknowledging that?
well, probably most likely the ones who are around him either
was the
doing
ones
drugs
doing it.
too.
And
Right.
that's what I'm saying. And that's
So
the
most
hard
likely the
part.
people who are around you, usually, y'all do the same type of
You
things.
know,
Not
some
sitting here
wings.
saying
You
everybody,
want those
doing
wings?
drugs, but
Right. And that's the sad
I
part
left you
about
some
it,
wings. I
And
sent you a text.
I heard Big Sean was really distraught. I saw Big Sean at the Music Fest, and he ain't made reference how he was very distraught in reference to it because Mac had reached out to him and he had missed his phone call, so he was very saddened by that too.
So, when we look at all these deaths in the music industry,
Sad.
and you look at, my question is,
turn the
and
air up.
Prince, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston,
Mm.
did the industry kill them?
That's a good
Well,
question.
I
That's
kind of
a
think that when it comes to celebrities and drugs, it's like nobody says that to them because it's almost like it's not only is it accessible, but it's almost like I don't know. It's almost like a privilege that they get. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like I had just seen on one of the magazines at the shop, like they were just saying like all of these people that are close to being on overdose. Selena Gomez, Paris Hilton. All these. Brittany.
Demi
All these
Lovato.
people. Jamie Lovato. Right. All these people that are known to have had drug issues and drug problems or
Lindsay
close to.
Lohan.
Yeah, like well, shit, she's ain't been in, but
But
still, like
that didn't just start. You got to look at the one.
no.
I think it's the stress of the industry that kills them.
It is. I mean, it's so much stress. But my question is, this is open minds. Did the industry kill them,
The industry
or did the industry kill them?
I mean, that's a great question.
Right.
That's a great question when you say
And
it
and
that
and,
Did
and,
the
way.
stress of the
and, and,
industry? Did the
and let
stress
me
of the industry kill
and
them?
let me
Right.
stop right here. I'm gonna pull somebody off real quick so I can show you something.
Mm-hmm.
That is his last post on Instagram. That picture right there.
Mm.
That is his last post on
Yeah, it
Instagram.
was. Yeah, it was.
I'm only laughing at
What you
K
laughing at,
West.
please?
I'm laughing at K West. Did he really have to take his glasses off to look at the picture? Most people
I
put their
was
glasses on to
I
look
was
at the
trying to
picture.
see his tattoos. I wanted to see what they really said, but I remember seeing that picture on his Instagram.
Trisha says he got
At
a
least I
bad
can
line.
see.
Trisha says he got a bad line of something. People only clean up if they are part of the issue. Sounds like his folks are covering their own ass.
I mean, this is the industry folks.
Now, Samiyah, can you turn down your Facebook thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what
Oh,
I
okay.
mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, that sounds like me and
No, I'm
these
like, wait
ladies.
a
Turn
minute.
it down.
All
The volume.
right. So Anitra says too many yes men. Kanye had the same issues. They can't handle people who will be honest with them.
I mean, let's think about it. I mean, when you get into the industry, everyone's like, oh, hey, you know what I'm saying? You got your real friends, and you got your entourage, and you got the associates, and you got your industry friends. And those stressors, in terms of all those people coming at you left and right, can definitely take a toll on you. Then you got the industry itself, in terms of the double-edged sword of, I got to come up with albums, I got to come up with this, I got to
The
come up with that,
pressure,
I got to
the
come up with
pressure,
this.
Right.
The
Right.
pressure to make more hits and everything else can definitely take a toll on you.
and
Or let's say I got the financial side, which you and I've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, in terms of, am I going to get my money?
mm-hmm.
And that
Not
part
only
with
that, and not only that, let's talk about these record labels who don't
exactly.
care, if their artists are on drugs because they
I
want them to
don't.
be fucked up. They want them
Exactly.
to be cloudy because they want you to not really care about what's going on with your deal.
Exactly.
You know
They
what I'm
want you to
saying?
be
They don't
as
want you to be
illiterate as
smart
possible.
about your shit. They don't want you to be
Right.
smart about your shit.
Hey, bro, I don't know how much longer you got.
How
I'm
much?
about to get ready.
Okay.
Right. So rest in peace to Mac Miller. Friday was quite a day. I think we might have lost Neef. I don't know where she went. Friday was quite a day. Oh, I have somebody I want to put on the screen real quick. And I want to know if you guys can guess who this is.
Who is that?
I want you guys to look and see if you can guess who is in this picture. There's somebody in this picture who we all are familiar with. All right. And I want you to just try to guess if you guys can guess who is in this picture. There's somebody in this picture we all know.
Personally, we know.
Okay, so
is that BG?
Yes, you guessed it.
Dang.
Guessed it. Yes, that is BG. Yes. Terrell said BG also. So today, you guys know I own an inmate services company, and today we got a photo order. Let me bring these back on because she just came back. We got a photo order today from one of my customers, and I was looking at the picture, and I'm like, yo, is that BG? And I'm like, wow. Yeah, that's BG. So BG is actually at FCI Manchester. He's in federal prison. He gets out in 2024. So that was just a little snapshot of him in the joint with some homies. Shout out to BG. Cash Money.
Cash money
is
our army, nigga.
Okay.
Cash money is our army.
That
right.
my shit.
That my cut.
Trisha Jackson says the industry caters too much to people who have deep-rooted issues. They make things accessible to numb themselves when pressure arises.
Come on now.
I don't agree with that.
You know, I just seen a Bow Wow. He had ran a clip of, I guess it was an old clip or something of him arguing with Omarion about something, and he had lean in his hand. He was like, y'all, like, don't believe it. He's like, I was so fucked up. He was like, I drank that shit every day. He was basically saying, like, don't let the pressure of the industry make you feel like you got to fit in, because he's like, stay off the drugs. Like, he was like, yo, my mind was so cloudy. Like, I stayed fucked up. And I guess, like, it's just like anything else. Like, even with smoking weed and stuff, like, some people just can't really handle this shit, but they still do the shit because they're trying to fit in, or necessarily, you know, or however, you know, it's so much pressure, I think, just trying to be down for one, let alone being in the industry.
And I agree with you, Samiyah.
You got all of these drugs and stuff. Like, now, look at the music. It's not no more about smoking and drinking and whatever. It's, you know, I popping pills, I do a Molly, get a Percocet. You know what I'm saying? You got so many things, and if you doing all that shit, like, you're not finna be on this earth very long anyway, because it's like your body ain't gonna be able to take all that shit.
Samiyah, I agree with you, but
you drinking every day, you smoking every day, that's just your everyday thing, and you popping Percocets and Mollies, and, you know, all of this other shit at the same time.
Right. What were you saying, Neef?
I agree with Samiyah, but that comment, that last comment that came in, I think from Trisha, it's not that the industry makes it accessible; it's that money makes it accessible.
That's
when they feeling that pressure, they got that money, and they're trying to fit in at the same time. That money plays a big part of it.
True, it does. Let's not also forget that we have the handlers. All right, we've got
I was about to say that
handlers to make sure that some of these people stay drugged up. Okay,
I agree with that too.
Right,
but they gotta pay for it.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And when you're rich, you can pay for all the drugs you want, right?
Yeah.
So let's go to the next subject, y'all. And so Friday was a crazy day because we woke up in the morning and you saw you saw Mac Miller. You know that he's dead. And then and then you turn around, and that night it went down. It's going down. Basement. Okay, it went down at the Harper's Bazaar.
Can't do dripping. Drip.
Okay, New York Fashion Week, Harper's Bazaar, Icons event. Cardi B and Nicki Minaj got into it. They had an altercation.
Right.
You know, it's really crazy. How do you guys feel about that? I want to know how everybody feel. Is anybody Team Cardi or Team Nicki, or are you neutral or what?
You know, well,
I am team. I'm team black woman.
I'm just gonna say I'm team Cardi.
Team black woman, and it keeps bothering me.
And it's not even like necessarily like Team Cardi, but I just kind of feel like Nicki is been a provoker lately. you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like the shit that she's been saying, and it's coming off as jealousy and envy towards other rappers and other people in the industry. Like she's the one holding it down, and she can't share the spotlight. She don't want to share the spotlight with nobody else. This is kind of like how I feel about it.
Right.
Like,
Now
you're not.
there are a lot of artists that have said that Nicki Minaj is stopping bags out here. Okay. There has been person after person who said that Nicki Minaj has made calls, she's done whatever she needed to do. And not just on one person, several people. We're talking about Safari, we're talking about K Michelle, we're talking about Remy Ma, Little Kim, Cardi B. The list goes on. And from what these people say, Nicki's not a very nice person.
No. They
Speaking
say
of K Michelle, shout out to her Puff Pedal spot that I'm standing in front of right now. What's up, K Michelle?
Okay.
I want to play something that I just want to play. Well, first off, let me say this. I want to put out Cardi's statement, okay? Because
Thank you.
Cardi put out a statement, and I think it's important that we show that. So let me bring that down for a second, real quick. Okay. All right, so Cardi's statement. See if I can. All right. I've let a lot of shit slide. I let you sneak diss me. I let you lie on me. I let you attempt to stop my bags. Fuck up the way I eat. You've threatened other artists in the industry. Told them if they work with me, you'll stop fucking with them. I let you talk big shit about me. I dressed you once in person. I dressed you a second time in person. And every time you copped a plea. But when you mention my child, you choose to like comments about me as a mother, make comments about my abilities to take care of my daughter is when all bets are fucking off. I've worked too hard and come too far to let anybody fuck with my success. Bitches talk all that shit in they raps, but in real life, they pussy. This shit really is for entertainment. Okay. So, that was Cardi's statement after the altercation took place. She's pissed. She's another person that said that Nicki has tried to stop their bag. Okay. I'm going to pull up a video that K Michelle is kind of saying the same thing. Hold on.
Hi, I'm Carl, and I want to introduce you to some badass women.
So of course we
who
go
have
to
turned
commercial.
Their hobbies and interests into
Sorry,
a career
guys.
on YouTube.
Here we go.
I don't want to do no song with McMill, and I don't want to do one with Nicki. You don't go and steal somebody's record and then tell the label not to tell them. And then you got Meek's boys trying to take my chain, saying the chain that Meek gave me, he got to get back the chain and all that. I've never fucked Meek Mills. I've always been the biggest Nicki supporter, so you got to understand where I'm coming from. When I found out she was going behind me, trying to take my song, that was my title track on my album. And once again, you know how the labels and how the industry is, don't say nothing because you don't want to be attacked. I don't give a fuck no more about being attacked. I'm sorry. I'm always under attack by the devil because I'm blessed. The last thing I'm going to do is remain quiet and not speak how I feel. You don't do that. When girls are coming in the game, you do not step on them. You do not try to sabotage them so that you can remain in your place. We got the same butt doctor, but other than that, I'm not even a rapper. Do I think I go too far? Fuck no. Give them hell. Fuck what anybody else got to say about you or to you, because half the people that judge you don't even like who they are. So.
All right. So there was another person who says once again that Nicki is stopping bags out here. Remy Ma said the same thing. I can pull up video after video of people from Safari to DJ Academics to Charlemagne to to Remy Ma to Little Kim, who all said that she makes calls, she does whatever she can to try to stop the bag. Now, let's for fairness, now Nicki Minaj got on her Queen radio show and went digital on Monday. And I think it was very well calculated. You know, she usually does her show on Thursdays. She went ahead and did her show 3 days early because, of course, right now we got to bask in the moment of what was going on. You know what I'm saying? And so she went ahead and did her radio show. She went crazy. And I want to see if you guys, hopefully you guys can hear this. Let me see if I can play this for y'all. I gotta see if I can let y'all hear this.
I'm done anyway. I might as well just talk. I'm done anyway.
You guys hear this?
Yep, I can hear it.
Yeah. I'm tired of people fucking lying on me.
Oh,
So we gonna get into some things. Now, you want to talk about stopping bags, but there's two innocent girls in a strip club right now that ain't did nothing but go to the strip club and get money. Now they can't get no money, so who's stopping bags? Because you got grown-ass fucking men showing up to where the fuck they at and where they work at. They can't feed their kids, they can't feed their fucking family. They can't feed their fucking family because you mad at what another man sticking his dick inside of.
Oh my gosh.
You mad. You mad at a woman for what a man is doing. And that's the problem with so many black women and women, period. Oh, but she not refers to you black women. Oh, we got the receipts for that too. FYI, she refers to black women as monkeys and roaches. Roaches!
Fix myself up before she got this show.
To freedom!
Myself up.
To freedom! These are the women. These are the women going hard for her. The roaches. When the lights come out. they scrambling. The roaches, child. We roaches. Black women's is roaches now, child. We roaches, be clear. Now, I'm going to say no. So there are two beautiful women right now who have been accused of whoever they slept with and, whatever. And so they were, allegedly attacked and are cut up everywhere, but not by women, men. You sending men to beat on women.
I need some clarity on it. You said, say that one more time. I missed,
Oh, turn that off.
Let me tell you, but I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to preface it by saying this. What's sad is that a lot of times a man can hurt a woman so badly that she no longer even knows who she's angry at.
Correct.
And what happens is, first of all, let's get up a 1-800 number for postpartum depression.
I like that sound.
Because let me tell you something. That's nothing to joke about. It's nothing to joke about. You just had the biggest blessing of your life with a child, and in 2 weeks, you have attacked 3 women, one at Fashion Week, and left looking the way you left looking so that people could point their fingers at our culture and at our community and laugh at us some more?
The knot was nuts. It was nuts. It was nuts. It was nuts. It was nuts. You could say it. It was nuts. It was nuts. It was nuts. Nuts. Can I ask you a question?
No, wait, hold on, Flax. Hold that thought, no, because I don't want to forget this.
Okay. I'm here.
Hold on, once. The Lord gave you a blessing of a beautiful bundle of joy. And the only thing on your mind once you gave birth was to attack people and to stop their bags. Let me tell you something. A woman cannot give your man pussy
if he doesn't stick his dick in there. Who are you angry at, sweetheart? You got these women crying and scared to leave their house. And you want to talk about stopping bags? This is disgusting. Because you know they can't because you know they can't afford security. So you scaring these girls to death and they can't even come to work anymore? And you want to let your publicist write something about stopping bags? Do you know what the fuck it is to sit in your fucking room for hours and days at a time writing raps? You came into my fucking culture. I never had the fucking DJ to play my songs.
And I just want y'all to hear this
You
last
calling
part.
black women roaches? You getting girls beat up because of what your man doing? No, real bitches never do that. You never attack the woman. You never attack the woman.
Listen.
You take that up with your fucking man.
Now listen.
Fuck out of here.
You're gonna say something crazy.
You're angry and you're sad, and this is not funny, and this is not about attacking. This is about get this woman some fucking help. This woman is at the best stage in her career, and she's out here throwing bottles and throwing shoes?
Oh, shut up.
I know that's right.
Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit.
Right here.
You niggas don't care until somebody's fucking dead. You niggas want somebody to fucking die until y'all stop. Until y'all stop this bullshit, laughing at this shit. This shit ain't fucking funny. You put your hands on certain people, you gonna die. Period.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Nicki says you put your hands on certain people, you're gonna die. That sounds like a threat to me.
That sounds like a threat to me. And it sounds like you're more pressed about the situation and you're making it not about what you doing. You're trying to point it more on her. I feel like she's like trying to make it seem like she's the crazy one. But bitch, what about what you've been doing? I'm sorry.
Sorry. First of all, I like to say I'm mad
You've
at
been
my
in the industry longer. You supposed to have more couth. You're supposed to be the leader of you claim like she came into your culture. Then what type of example are you setting for women who are coming into the culture that they got other women they're going to be in the industry that's going to hate on them, that's going to keep them from trying to get their money?
Right.
Or
well, and the thing about it is Cardi is 25, Nicki is 35.
okay.
Should Cardi have popped off at that event? No, she shouldn't have. But I think that comes with maturity. I think it comes with, she's new in the game. She just became famous in the last couple years. Nicki is seasoned. Nicki is media trained. Cardi needs media training. She, and it's one of those things where,
and she comes from the streets and she comes from the strip club, and you sitting here saying about the strip club and stuff like, I'm not. What about the comment like, I'm not one of those bitches in the strip club?
Yeah.
Okay. I ain't hear that one, but I seen it and I heard it on another site or on her show.
First of all,
Women in the strip club go through more shit pretty much than the average daily woman. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's why Cardi popped off like that, because that's the environment that she comes from. She doesn't come from this fake industry, put it in the rap shit. Okay. She comes from the real shit. She's
say something in the street.
And it's one of those things where, we've all been at that age where when you see a bitch that you got, you're not cool, you got beef with, and that blood gets to boiling, it can pop off anywhere, should it not have jumped off there? No, it shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure she's learned.
I'm pretty sure that she was drinking and it's an industry party and however and whatnot. But at the same time, Nicki was so calm at the industry in the moment. I'm gonna stand over here, but now you're talking big shit on your radio show, makes you look like a bully. You see what I'm saying? That's what makes it makes you look like a bully, because now you got all this shit to say. And before you wasn't, I'm gonna stand right here and blah blah blah, like however, And
Yeah.
like Nick Cardi said, every time she's like, this ain't the first time I've approached her and said something to her, or we've had, talked about it, and she's like, clapping, she's copping the plea, like, oh no, 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 you know what I'm saying?
All
Now
right. So Anitra Wilson says, the more I think about it, I feel like Nicki set the trap and Cardi fell for it.
Yeah.
Nicki is smart. She, she knew what to do, and when she talked about it, she's like, I was mortified that that she did
I've
that
seen that.
here with the upper echelon, and I was mortified. Well, you wasn't mortified when you be talking all that big shit, talking about all the shit that she says. So I think that this is probably the first time that somebody actually pulled Nicki's whole car and tried her on the shit that she said and ran up on her
in public.
She's used to talking shit and people just doing shit on wax. Like Cardi,
Twitter
Cardi ain't lyrical. Cardi ain't finna sit in the booth and write some shit to get back at you. She's ready to do something. But I think that again, hopefully, but there's it's more subliminals. Things are more Terrell says, yep, trying to end her career. I mean, Nicki knows what she's doing. Let's talk about the calculation in this. Okay, so the event happens Friday. All right. She moves her radio show up from Thursday to Monday to do the radio show, and then boom, turns around and drops the Barbie.
And drops her video.
You know what I'm saying? So the marketing behind this altercation on Nicki's side was, they knew what they were doing. All right. Trisha says, lead by example. Nicki acted just like Cardi when she came into the game with the Queen Bee, Little Kim. How quickly one forgets. That's so true. Yes. If we don't forget, a decade ago when Nicki came in the game and Little Kim felt like Nicki should be bound down to her. That's how Nicki's acting now. Nicki is acting like everybody needs to be, and I feel like this. I feel like they should respect Nicki. Nicki is dope. She's a dope artist. She's been in the game. She's put in a lot of work. But don't nobody got to kiss your ass, Nicki.
Okay, yeah. There's a difference between respect.
There's a difference between respecting you and kissing your ass. Don't nobody got to bow down to you, baby. You know what I'm saying? And in this game, in the industry, everybody has their time. This is how it works. Everybody has their time to shine. You know what I'm saying? And it's time to let some new blood in. I did just hear, and I don't know how true this is. Let me bring K West back in because K West is here. He's back. I did just hear, and I don't know how true this is because it hasn't been officially announced, that Dream Doll has just signed with Atlantic Records also. And Atlantic Records is the same label that Cardi's on. Atlantic Records is signing all the female rappers right now. They've got Bad Baby over there. They've got that Rico Nasty. They've got Cardi B. They've got Dream Doll. And the word is that Atlantic has been trying for a very long time to get Nicki out of the game. And from their roster of female rappers now, I think they're working on it. They're trying. But it is what it is. I think that, it's unfortunate that it happened. I don't know what's going to happen now, if it's going to, if they're going to go back and forth on wax or whatever. But it is what it is.
But really, Nicki been kind of going back and forth, like on the motorsport. Like you said, everything but Cardi's name. But it was kind of obvious that you were taking shots at her.
Yeah, that is very true.
I mean, all of their records, both of them, they've been taking shots at each other the last year, both of them.
I mean, it's a sad thing that we can't get, one thing Kelly Rowland was asked about this, and she said, I love Cardi, I love Nicki, and it's just unfortunate, especially with all this going on with, Serena recently and, with black women in general, that this is taking place.
Nobody else.
Well, the thing is if we go back to the beginning of time in hip hop, they have always pinned the females against each other, Little Kim and Foxy. It's never, it's rare that they want that they're gonna let two people be on top at the same time. They always try to have like one person on top. It's not like
because it was Trina and Little Kim. You had Roxanne, Shantae, and
back in the day,
you got all that.
But now it's like they want to let one person, and Nicki she's been on top of the game for so long, she doesn't want to let that go. And I get that, but you gotta, everybody has their time. That's how the industry works. I mean, and you gotta let the people in. You can't be blacking people's bags and people's blessings, and it's a dirty game though, and she's not the only one to do it. Let's talk about how MGK talked about how Eminem was blacking his bag. He's like, dude, why I can't get on Sway? Why can't get on Shade 45? Why I can't do such and such? You're blocking me from, certain things in the industry. And some of these industry veterans, some of these stars who have been in the game and they feel like they have clout and they're at a certain level, they do try to stop some of the newcomers from coming in and doing shit,
Right.
and that just comes from, it's just like the person who has senior, who has seniority at your job, who, he may have more privilege than the next person, you know what I'm saying? And that's because they've been there for a minute and they're like, yo, he can't come in here and do that. I've been here for 20 years, but the music industry doesn't work like that.
Instead of uplifting each other and taking up, bringing someone up with you.
I just wish, on a positive note, we had such negative stuff in the hip hop because we had Cardi B and Nicki. We had the story about Mac Miller. But the one thing that did happen positive in hip hop this week is Drake and Meek Mill. All right. They made up. Drake brought him out, brought Meek out in his show in Boston. And, I think it's really dope for hip hop to see that the females ain't getting along, so it's dope to see two brothers getting along after everything that has happened, the diss records, the back and forth. They put all their differences aside and they're cool again. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was a dope move and it was a good example, not only just for hip hop but for our brothers in general. Put that shit to the side. It's not important. Let's come together and let's do something together. You know what I'm saying? Let's make a difference. How do you guys feel about Drake and Meek Mill making up?
I feel like
it's
about time. I mean, because it's like at the same time, what was the beef about in the first place?
Good question. Good question.
Was it about Nicki? Like, I don't
what
understand.
Was the beef about? And that's funny that you say that because I wasn't really going to bring this up and I don't know how in tune you guys are as far as in the hip hop shit. But my observation right now, and I was not going to bring it up, but I'm going to bring it up.
Bring it up.
My observation, I think that Drake, and I may be wrong, but I think that Drake is not fucking with Nicki Minaj right now.
What?
And I don't think Drake is fucking with Nicki Minaj right now, and I'm going to tell you why. Drake was spotted with Nicki Minaj a couple days before her album dropped. He was in the background wherever they were at, maybe at her studio. He was making a joke about the Fifi record that she has with 6ix9ine. Mm-hmm. Okay, he was supposed to be on her album. He didn't end up. It didn't go through. All right, her album came out. He did not once post her album. He did not shout her out. He did not say nothing about this girl's album dropping. Right. Lil Wayne shouted her out, whatever. Drake didn't say nothing. Didn't post it on his page. Not a nothing, right? Then I watched every interview that she did. And in every interview that she did, they asked her, hey, how did Drake feel about the Barbie Dream song? And she's like, they're like, is he mad? They're like, you ain't talked to him? Okay, so that was kind of weird. I'm like, damn, her album been out a week. She ain't talked to him. Like, he didn't even hit her.
Same label, and
he didn't text her to say congrats. So I thought that was weird, right? Then we go by actions, right? She has her Queen radio rant. She goes in on Travis Scott. Calls him a fuckboy. Gives him the hoe ass nigga of the week award. The very next day, Drake brings him out on stage.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Very next day, Drake brings him out on stage. Actions speak louder than words, okay? Then the next week, okay, he's on tour with the Migos. The next week, they bring Cardi out on stage at the Drake and Migos show. The crowd goes crazy. The next week after that, he brings Meek out. And him and Meek are cool. My guess is that he's not fucking with Nicki right now, like by the actions, and that's just my observation. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. But I that's what I'm thinking. That's what I think is going on.
He might feel like the bitch is being petty with all of the shit that she starting it, and you never know. You know how,
Well, I'm gonna tell you why he might feel like she's being petty, because when her album dropped and she was going crazy, like she just said that Cardi needs an intervention, and we all know that just a few weeks ago they were saying she needed an intervention. Okay, but I'm gonna tell you why I think that her and Drake might be beefing, um, and it has to do with this tweet. See if I can put this up real quick. Spotify put Drake's face on every playlist, but told me they'd have to teach me a lesson for playing my music 10 minutes early on Queen Radio. Even though they've been giving away my music for free for years, and I am one of the top Spotify artists of all time. Spotify had to teach me a lesson, but rewarded the man who has had an Apple radio show the longest, inadvertently helping the Apple platform the most. Oh, I can't wait for Queen Radio on Tuesday. Okay, somehow
I remember that tweet. I
Just so
remember
much
that.
somehow after that, you just didn't hear about Drake talking to her no more. You ain't heard him say, yo, get my sister's album, get my family, they're on the same
Yeah,
label.
because she just stopped his bag.
Right, real talk. Like you really hear, you don't hear about that. And I peeped that in terms of what you had made reference to. Migos, come here, with Travis Scott coming on stage, with Cardi coming on stage, and then with Meek Mill coming on stage. And we know Drake is petty. Drake is hella petty.
I gotta hear what she's saying.
Yeah.
Hella
And
petty.
so I feel like just by actions, and again, I might be wrong, but my observations, and even when she was asked time and time again, hey, what did Drake say about the Barbies? She like it wasn't like it was one of them. I ain't talked to him. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like, what's going on there? You know what I'm saying? I'm just that's my thing. And one last thing, and I think that this is my prediction, y'all. This is a political prediction. Hey, this is my political prediction. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
So let me put my man on here. All right, so a couple days ago, Barack Obama tagged Joe Biden, and he said, my brother Joe is back on Instagram. Follow him, and you go on Joe's page, and Joe is back on Instagram, and all this shit. And this is my prediction, my political prediction. Why? Okay, first of all, why is Joe Biden at this point back on Instagram? At this point, Joe Biden is gearing up for a 2020 presidential run. That is what the fuck is going on. Okay. That is what the fuck is going. There is no other reason that right now Joe Biden gets back on Instagram, and not only gets back, but Barack tags him. Follow my bro. Okay. What I also found out is that Joe Biden is now going to have an Instagram TV show where he's talking about issues that are going on across America. And he's going to be talking about health, education, finance, everything you can think of. He's going to cover all of these subjects. All right. My political prediction is that this handsome devil is going to be running for a presidential bid in 2020. I think that's what's going to happen. What do you guys think? Do you guys think Joe Biden is going to run in 2020?
Look here, people.
I'm gonna go with your
First and
prediction.
foremost, Michelle, she's running too as his running mate.
You think so? You think Michelle's going to run for vice president?
I think so.
Michelle says she doesn't want nothing to do with being in the White House no more. However, unless she's changed her mind. But Joe Biden 2020, hell yeah. Because, and again, studying political science, I can tell you, social media was partially how Barack Obama scored big into when he ran for president. So being able to put Joe Biden on the platform and give him his own Instagram show or Twitter show or whatever the case may be,
Yeah, he's gearing up for a 2021. We
He,
just need to wait for the official announcement. He
yeah,
got my
he's
vote.
gearing up.
I mean,
He has not announced it, but he's definitely gearing up. And I can tell you right now. Let me just look and see.
I'll be real, and someone who studied political science too, but
Dude, he
but
just joined. He just joined 6 days ago. He's already got
exactly,
over 1 million followers.
exactly.
Um,
And let's really be honest. Who on the Democratic side has anyone talked about over? I mean, since Hillary, no one,
Well, you know,
nobody.
Avenatti ain't gonna win nothing because he a shiesty ass lawyer.
Right. So what I'm saying is, no one on the Democrat side has been, gearing up for this really.
I
So
mean,
why
no,
not?
you haven't heard of one person that they're thinking,
No one.
Trisha says, I agree with you, Kate. Yes, Trisha, this is my prediction. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I know what these niggas doing. You know what I'm saying?
Seriously.
I'm like, I already know what they're doing.
Exactly.
And it's calculated. They're smart. They know what to do. They tag them. There's no reason why Joe Biden would get on Instagram
No
dislabel his
reason.
name for no reason, right?
No
Thought
reason.
he
And
was
then
gonna
now
sue.
all of a sudden he's going to be doing a show on all of the issues that our country faces, and he's doing a Instagram TV show. Come on, people! This is the social media era. They know
This
what
is
they're doing.
grabbing
Okay, they
everyone
know what
on.
they're doing, and I can bet your bottom dollar that Joe Biden is going to be running for president in 2020. Who's voting for Joe?
I'm taking
He
all
got my vote.
bets.
He got my vote.
As long as him and
If
Trump don't
Barack
talk about
backing
that,
him, I'm backing him.
as long as they don't, him and Trump don't talk about fighting like they did a couple of months ago when they was talking about that shit was so funny. I said, "Oh my god, two old ass men talking about
I
fighting
just
outside of school."
I just pray for
Okay.
Joe's health throughout this. I just truly pray for Joe's health. Joe ain't no
Exactly.
young man.
He's
No,
not.
he's not. He's not. Because I looked at like, but Donald Trump was 70 when he got in
He's the
office,
oldest president ever. Trump
and I
is.
feel like, even though I think Joe is older, Joe still seems like he's in better shape.
Yeah.
That's what happens,
Shit.
that's from the
If
porn star.
Donald Trump would do it, anybody can do it. So shit.
Hey, Trisha says Joe Biden has the swag and he has my vote. He has
He got
that
all
swag.
of our boys.
Joe is fine. Joe Biden is a fine old man. I'm telling
I
you.
don't know about all that because I'm
Like,
Latino, but
Close
okay,
his
Joe
sugar daddy.
Biden, he's fine. Um,
Well,
shoot, the birthday girl thought my grandmother fine. You know what I mean? So
shut up. I love y'all. I have to sign off.
yeah. Okay, yeah, we're actually getting ready to wrap up now. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Share the live. You can always play it back. This isn't over. You can play it back 100 times. Share the live. Love the live. Like the live. Laugh at the live.
and make
And
sure you tell everyone you heard it here first. Joe Biden.
Joe Biden, you heard it here first. That's the political prediction. All right. We do this every Wednesday night at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Facebook. I want to thank my special guest, my boy West, my girl Niece. Happy birthday, baby girl. I love you.
Love
And
you
my
too.
dog, Samiyah, the player. I appreciate
Hey.
Killing with
y'all
the show.
joining me. I appreciate all of the viewers. If you fucking with the show, like it, share it. It'll be on YouTube in a day or two. And this has been another episode of Open Minds. We out.
We out.
Alrighty. See y'all
Peace.
later.
See y'all.
Peace.
Deuce.